Hello everyone, welcome in or welcome back. Thank you for supporting my channel and sharing your time and energy with me today. My name is Amanda, and today we have a Monday mystery message for you with 4 soul paths for you to choose from. Remember that this reading is timeless, so whenever you come across it, there will be something here to align you to your highest good. And please take whatever messages are aligning and confirming for you and leave the rest for someone else. So if you would like to hop into your pile, you can find the timestamp for your reading in the description box or a pinned comment section. However, if you'd like me to introduce you to the soul paths, let me do that now. For soul path 1, we have the wheel with the aragonite stone. For soul path 2, we have the tiger with the Mukite jasper stone. For soul path 3, we have rabbit with the Caribbean calcite stone. And for soul path 4, we have bowl with the red carnelian. So use your intuition to choose the soul path that is calling to you the most, and when you are ready, click on the timestamp in the description box or pinned comment section to skip to your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, my soul path ones. Welcome to your reading. You chose the wheel with the aragonite stone. And this card says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Now that could resonate with some of you. However, I will share another intuitive message that I received upon looking at this card. There's 2 messages that I received. There's something about reinventing the wheel. Maybe you are trying to reinvent something, to recreate something, but maybe it's not necessary, or maybe it is necessary. And then the other one that I received is that there's some kind of cycle or pattern or rhythm or routine that you've been doing for a really long time. And I feel like that might be coming to an end at some point. You might even be feeling indecisive in this energy and not knowing where to go and what to do next. Hence the wheel going around and round, and you may be overthinking this particular thing or not being able to decide what to do next and where it is that you'd like to go. So you're just kind of putting in your time. You're putting in the kind of the, I don't want to say the bare minimum, but you're doing what you need to do and hoping that an answer or a solution or a new pathway will open up for you. So let us get into the reading now with the tarot. So Spirit, we're speaking to Soul Path 1. Can you, thank you, give us 3 cards, thank you, to start their reading, please. What do they need to know? Messages they need to hear at this time. Messages they need to hear for Soul Path 1. Soul Path 1, please. Last card. 1 more card, please, for Soul Path 1. 1 more. Okay. So you have the Sun in reverse. You have the 6 of Swords in the upright. You have the the Empress, which is a 3, and you have the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So there's a feeling here that you might be lacking confidence or lacking self-esteem in doing something. This could have something to do with a decision that you're trying to make, with your next move. And I'm wondering if that is the root cause of why you're feeling a little lost. Maybe you're rambling a little bit. You are hesitating on some kind of decision that you need to make because you feel you don't have what it takes. The confidence, the skills, the self-esteem. You aren't sure about yourself. And the challenge is to move anyway, to decide anyway, to have that fear of the decision that you feel you need to make, and to make the decision with great confidence, even though you might not have 100% confidence in your decision making. I feel like this decision that you are making, though, will move you to a calmer place, a place of growth, great growth. So not just I'm moving up in my career. This is I'm reaching the highest heights in my career. But it requires you to have unwavering belief in yourself, unwavering confidence in yourself, but not so far that it becomes overinflated to where we get into the arrogance and the inflated ego, to where it becomes a hindrance. And I feel what you may not see is that you move with your heart, you feel with your heart, and I think you don't necessarily move with your heart. There's a lot of logical thinking. You're in your head a lot. And I feel that could be part of the obstacle as well, is that you are using your logical mind to make the decision when you really need to drop into your heart and what it is that you feel. Because your logical mind might be telling you, no, this isn't for you. This is too big. It's too scary. What if you succeed? How are we going to work out all the details? What's it going to look like? Is this going to work? Is this going to succeed? There's a lot of questions and not so many answers. But I feel your heart knows the answers. So dropping into that heart space to understand how to step through this door. Your heart has the answers to move you through this door. And it may not make logical sense. The Six of Swords is also can be indicative of a mindset shift that is required. And I feel like that's what this is about. This is about moving you from a place of feeling unseen, feeling unheard, feeling small, feeling like you don't have what it takes, to having a bit of a shift, turning that on its head and moving into something greater, something that is more connected to the feeling emotion. So let's get into some clarifiers now, and we'll ask Spirit for 2 clarifiers, or maybe just an extension of this message. Queen of Swords and the 7 of Cups. So this just clarifies being in your head a lot when I think you do have a good sense for how you feel. You do have a very strong sense of certain things being successful based on your knowledge, your wisdom, your intellect, that reason that you use to move through life and make decisions. This decision, I feel, is going to require a much deeper part of you, a part of you that is going to feel a little scary, maybe even a little uncomfortable, because you're not used to making decisions from a place of your heart. And so there could be a lot of emotions that come up that could confuse you in this. You're scared, but you're excited. You have a lot of questions, but you also know a lot in your heart, in your intuition. So there's a little bit of confusion about how you actually feel about something, because it's your heart and your mind at odds. I feel with a little bit more emotion and that strong sense of logic, intellect, reason, I think you can make some pretty big moves. So it's about integrating this emotion into this decision as well. And it may require you to override some of your logical thinking, some of your misconstrued beliefs about yourself that aren't actually true. And it's those beliefs that make you feel like you can't achieve a certain thing, that you'll stay in a certain cycle forever, that you'll stay in a certain place forever, that you can never be what you actually want to be. And all it requires is for you to move through your heart, to move with your heart, to even have patience with yourself and nurture that a little bit. So it doesn't have to be big. It can be little things during your day. And it can be as simple as, what do I need in this moment? Not logically, I have to do X, Y, and Z. I have to respond to that email. I have to go for a run. I have to make dinner, whatever the to-dos on your list are. But maybe after some of that stuff is out of the way, sit down and ask yourself, what is it that I need in this moment? What is it that my heart wants me to do right now? And follow that little by little. Because I think if you follow your heart a little bit more, listen to your intuition just a little bit more, with all of that beautiful logical thinking, that problem solving, that knowledge that you already have, I feel like you're going to move mountains. And this will be so bright that I feel even you will be surprised. So let's get a final oracle message to end your reading. Final oracle message for Soul Path 1, please, regarding this message. What do they need to hear right now? Maybe even an affirmation. All right, you got 2, so I will take 2. Oh, look, delight in daring with the 5-lined skink. That's very cool. I'm going to have to read the book for that for you, because I'm not familiar with what a skink is. It's a very interesting word. But just the title, delight in daring, to me, this is like a little bit of daring energy, a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of pushing those boundaries, just out of not necessarily spite, but just getting a little rebellious is what I'm feeling. So it's almost like rebelling against that part of you, that inner critic that says don't, or that says you are not this. It's like, yeah, let me show you what I can do. Or yeah, like I've got all these skills. I can do this. Navigate life with determination. So there's some more daring energy for you. I think Spirit is really encouraging you to go forth. Be daring, be bold, be determined in whatever it is you are doing, whatever it is you're working on. And this is swimming upstream with the red salmon. They work so hard to get back to their spawning grounds, and they go through so many obstacles, whether that is, waterfalls and prey, and moving through all kinds of different things to try to get to their spawning grounds. This is their destiny, essentially, of trying to get back home. And so I almost wonder if that's part of this journey here for you, is that you have to be daring and push those boundaries a little, to go above and beyond and get into those discomfort zones of swimming upstream, to be determined to get beyond whatever challenge you're facing right now, in order to find a place that feels like home, that feels aligned with your heart and soul. So just a few words from the book on this one, because the book can probably share a little bit more than I can on this. 20 years from now, you will probably be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did. Looking back on your life, what have you left undone? What regrets do you have for missed opportunities? Understanding your regrets helps you to make different choices moving forward. So list your regrets. Once you have a list, take it one step further. Sit with each regret and ask if you still have sadness or grief around this moment. If you don't, and if you feel complete, let it go. But if there's still an emotional pull, take time to understand why. Was it a missed opportunity for personal growth? A crossroads in your life where you feel like you chose the wrong road? Understanding this will help you own your choices and will allow you to make different ones in the future, and maybe now. And regret is often linked to the times you didn't dare, the opportunities you missed because you were too scared of what you might lose or have to give up. Skink knows that when he loses his tail, a new one will grow in its place. This is one of life's greatest secrets. When you lose something, you are inadvertently creating room for something new to grow. When your cup is empty, you do not mourn what is gone, because if you do, you will miss the opportunity to fill it again. So that's interesting. We are chatting about looking at our regrets and the things that are keeping us behind or stuck or rambling aimlessly. And I question or wonder if that is what's happening here, is that you wished you had done something differently, or maybe you have a choice that you would like to make now, but are worried, you have fear, you don't have the confidence to make this decision. But I feel Spirit is really encouraging you to push the boundaries a little bit, push your own comfort zone in order to move beyond the things that are challenging you, to see that growth in your life, to see exponential growth with the Empress. But please do be patient in this process, be kind to yourself, and compassionate along the way. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 1. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. If you'd like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description box. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose Tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance with the Mukite Jasper Stone. I wonder if you have decided to do something risky or take a chance on something. This feels like you're having an adventure. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You may have even come from Soul Path 1. But Soul Path 1, I feel, was at the very beginning of that decision, and I feel like you might be already in that decision. Or maybe you are also kind of at that starting point where you're considering taking a chance on something. So this might be Spirit's way of just letting you know that it could be time to take the chance on something that you have maybe wanted to do for a really long time. I'm also getting the song Eye of the Tiger. There might be some more messages in the lyrics there, or it might just be a really good pump up song that you could use to really boost your confidence in making that decision. But doing something risky doesn't necessarily have to be anything that is completely outside of your comfort zone and completely abolishes all responsibility. This is about doing something that you dare to do that doesn't necessarily or have to compromise your safety, security, your comforts necessarily. Your physical comforts. This, I think, is a bit of a spiritual risk, and that is to do something that you've never done before, and that could run the gamut of anything. So maybe it's taking a job that you didn't think that you could do, and you've applied for it, and you actually landed the job. So you're taking that risk of doing something that, taking a job or even applying for a job that you never even thought you'd ever apply for, let alone get. So I feel it's those kinds of things where you're really pushing the boundaries of what you've done before. And who knows, maybe there are some of you that are taking a chance on something, taking a chance on love, taking a chance on traveling by themselves, taking a chance on moving to a new country or a state. So these could be big chances and risks too. But I'm hearing there's no wrong decisions in life. There are no wrong there are no wrong decisions. There's no real right answer, just what is right for you in this moment. So don't worry too much about if it doesn't work out, because even if we stay in the same place, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll work out either. You know, things change around us, whether we like it or not, and those external changes create changes within us and requires us to make decisions. So whether we stay or go, it doesn't really matter, because we really don't know what lies ahead unless we try different things unless we explore, experiment. So Spirit, Soul Path 2. What do they need to hear? It's too many. What does Soul Path 2 need to hear? Thank you. Thank you. 2 more, please. Thank you. Actually, 1 more. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're going to get 2 more at the end here. All right, so we have the Queen of Wands in the upright. We have the Death card in the reverse. We have the 6 of Wands in the upright. And the Devil on the bottom of the deck. So this is very similar energy to the Tiger. There's this feeling of you having real confidence, a real vision for your life, maybe even determination, willpower, passion, a focus, maybe even a purpose with what you're doing and why. I feel like you could be a very creative person, really strong manifestation energy, but you're really able to kind of turn your ideas into things. All of your thoughts become things. And so I feel there's this beautiful kind of transmutation energy or magician energy within that, where you have this magnetic power. You walk into a room and people just pick up on your energy. It's like bugs to a light. And everything that you create, I almost get a little bit of a Midas touch. So whatever you touch turns to gold. And you put in the work for what you want to do. You could be a business owner, an entrepreneur. You could be an artist. You could be some kind of crafter or creator of some kind. And so maybe this chance that you are considering is something big. It's a big manifestation. And I almost wonder if it's going to move you to the King of Wands, where you create a bit of an empire. You create something beyond your wildest dreams. But the block here is that there's some kind of transformation that is required from you that you are fearful of moving through. I feel like it's something that you know about. It's something that you know you've needed to let go of for some time. I don't know specifically what it is, but it's almost like there's something holding you back. And that also brings me to this Devil energy too at the bottom of the deck. You have some kind of attachment to something that I feel hasn't served you in a positive way or a beneficial way in a really long time. This could, again, range anywhere from your thoughts, beliefs, your values to the things that you're doing. If you do have a business, maybe the business is no longer resonating or it's no longer making the money it used to. And so this is a bit of a slow death here with the Death card, where you've seen it coming. You've tried to fix, you've tried to improve, you've tried different things, but you're having a really hard time letting it go because there's this chance that, well, maybe it'll get better. And that's when it becomes a little bit toxic, is when we haven't really let it go. We've kept hanging on to it to the point where it becomes a little bit of an obsession to fix, to change, to make better. Could be a person as well, I'm not sure. So I feel like the block here is to take the chance and let this thing go, to fully transmute and move through and surrender to what's next. Because there's a connection to something, an attachment to something that I don't think will ever come back to full life. So let's use that business as an example where you've tried over a period of time to fix it, to change it, to improve it, and it just hasn't done anything. But also when you really look at it, you understand that there's a bit of a toxic relationship you have with this business. Maybe you've experienced burnout in building this business. Maybe you don't align with the things that you're doing within this business, or you are tackling too many things in the business to where You don't have time for the things that bring you pleasure and joy. You aren't really focused on your purpose, your passion, your pleasures, because you are so weighed down by the energetic weight of this business and trying to keep it going. So there needs to be an assessment of, is it time to let this thing go? That doesn't mean you have to stop cold turkey, but at least consider some other things. I think there's some risk or some chance that you need to take next to get you to another level within your business or within your life. But I see on the other side that you have had some great successes and that you will have more successes. It's just that whatever this thing is may not get you to where you need to go or where you want to go with it. Now, if you're completely happy with where you are at, this reading is probably not for you. But if you are feeling that something needs to change, but you have a fear of changing it, you even have some doubts about changing it, I feel like Spirit is really encouraging you to celebrate all of the hard work that you have done to get it to this point, to have gratitude for that, and to kindly phase it out. So let's get a couple more cards for Soul Path 2. Soul Path 2. And there's almost a fear. I'm getting there's a fear of letting it go because you don't know what's next. And will it work out? And this is all that I know, and this is all that I've been doing, and I haven't thought about a plan B or a plan C. All I have is plan A. I think Spirit's encouraging you to consider what plan B and C might be at this time, which will help you start to loosen the bind to whatever this might be. So we have the Two of Cups. Yeah, it's looking at what brings you harmony and joy. What makes you feel full? And that could be tasks, that could be the people you're surrounded by. That could be just getting back to some kind of basic here, making new choices based on what your heart's telling you to do. And that was a little bit of the guidance from Soul Path 1 as well. Much different reading though. But this is coming into some kind of balance or harmony within oneself about a particular situation or a particular someone. So we have the Temperance in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which I feel is what is next. How are we going to do this? You got a bonus card. So a little bit of extra encouragement there from Spirit. So the Temperance is a little bit of impatience here, and maybe being too involved in the details or the situation. It's almost as if you need to take a step back and root yourself into your mission and your purpose and those values that really guide you. It takes time for good things to manifest. And so maybe that is the impatience here, is that you are trying to manifest something big in a space that's too small to contain it. And also, because it's such a big manifestation, that you not only need to find a bigger space for that growth, emotionally or spiritually, energetically, but also to have patience in that transition from where you are and this attachment or unattachment that you will be moving through. Having patience in that process to understand that this won't happen overnight, and that's okay. So long as you are aligning yourself to the things that feel joyful and purposeful and pleasurable, that make you feel excited and magnetic and confident. And then we have the Ace of Cups at the end of your reading, which is great because this is feeling differently about where you're at. Having your cup feeling full and overflowing and being bountiful, maybe even multiple streams of income as well. But there's an opportunity for emotional growth here, to step into something that will be a little more fulfilling for you. Because I think you're doing something that feels relatively good, and you've seen some successes from it, but I feel there's something missing. And I feel that there's something in that mix that isn't quite right, that's not making you feel good or aligned. But it's like you don't know how to move through that, or you have a fear about moving beyond that or getting rid of that. What will my business look like if I make this big change of getting rid of that thing? Is there a way to slowly transition? And this is also flow too. So going with some kind of flow and allowing things to unfold as naturally as they need to. And I think Spirit's encouraging you to take some kind of chance with that. I think you will be very successful if you do. Soul Path 2. Nurture connections with the Grey Wolf. And I will pull you one from the bottom of the deck. Between Dreams, which I think is where you're at. So the Grey Wolf is all about finding your voice within community. And when they are lost, they howl to find their pack again. They even howl with a good hunt and to share their joy. So that's, I feel, what this celebration energy is about here with the Six of Wands. It's that shouting from the rooftops all of your successes and not forgetting to celebrate that, and especially receiving that same excitement and gratitude and celebration from others when you achieve something in your life. So are you afraid to be heard in some way? The swords are missing here in this reading, as are the pentacles. There's a lot of fire and a lot of determination, a lot of action, a lot of creativity, even a little bit of heart. But the swords are missing, which tell me that there could be some possible blockages with communication, with sharing your voice, with communicating with others, with even speaking to yourself in a certain way. And then the pentacles are missing, which is that grounded energy of that stability, safety, security, comfort. So are you having troubles there? And maybe that's why Spirit's encouraging you to take a little bit of a risk. And maybe that is the risk, is to start speaking and sharing your voice, your opinions a little bit more. Maybe find ways to connect in with a new community, because that community could be part of that success. It could be that thing that helps you move to the next level and maybe detach from some of this energy that needs to leave. So there could be a network of people that you could connect in with to share your thoughts, your ideas, to find some kind of security within. And between dreams, I do feel that you are between a dream that you had and a dream that you desire. So this is your transition period of moving through that dream. But in order to do that, you must let something go here from the past, something that may not be working anymore, something that you've outgrown, something that's making you feel heavy. So Soul Path 2, this is what I have for you. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. If you would like a personal reading, the link for that is in the description box. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose Rabbit, Too Much Concern with Sexual Matters, and the Caribbean Calcite Stone. Okay, Soul Path 3. You might need to moderate when it comes to your lustful endeavors. That is what this card is about, is that there is intimacy on the brain. Not that that's a bad thing, but are there things that are being blocked because there is such a focus on that? Again, no judgment. But I almost wonder if Spirit is getting you to maybe try to moderate things a little, because maybe there's something that you are not seeing. There's also, with the Rabbit, there's abundance as well. So maybe you are feeling very abundant when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to love interests, or maybe even within your marriage or your connection with your partner. Maybe there's lots going on in the bedroom, or maybe there's not. And maybe that is why there is a focus on that at this time, is because there is a worry, there is a concern, and you can't really see anything else because you want something to be rectified or changed or improved. I'm also getting the message that there could be somebody here, a couple trying to conceive, and so maybe there is difficulty there. So interesting. We will get to the tarot and see what it has to say. And these cards were chosen at random, and I don't like to put them back before I record the videos, because I feel Spirit is always giving me cards that it wants to share in these mystery message readings, so I have to keep an open mind. So for Soul Path 3, Spirit, what would you like to share with them today? 2 cards, please, for Soul Path 3. 2 more. Thank you. 2 more. Okay. So we have the 6 of Swords. We have the King of Cups in the reverse. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, with the 4 of Swords in the upright. There's a feeling of you wanting to move on from some kind of situation. It could be a very contentious energy, but it's almost like you can't move on without changing the way you think about something, without changing the way you perceive something. So the changing, or the moving on, has a caveat. But there's definitely a situation that you're kind of done with and you just want to move on from, because you don't want this to become a pattern or a cycle. You're trying to break that before it becomes a problem. So there's almost like a proactive feeling that I'm getting from that. And I feel a lot of emotional drain from this particular situation. I feel like you're emotionally spent, which is maybe what you're trying to move on from. The challenge in this situation is trying not to let your emotions overrule your good judgment, overrule your logic and reasoning. Because there is a lot of emotions here, and the emotions are turned in the reverse. So that could override your good judgment here, versus being reactive or being triggered by something and having something within you cause you to react in a certain way that may not be rooted in the current situation. It could be rooted from a past situation. There could be some insecurity here. You could be feeling a little ungrounded, maybe even a little emotionally disconnected from the people around you. And so this is really preventing you from putting your whole heart into something, of even being open to or being vulnerable to intimately connecting with somebody, which could be the reason why Spirit chose this card for the soul paths. Because this could be all about sex, and there's no heart involved, whether you are in a relationship or whether you are dating. So there's emotional disconnection, but also there is a reason for that emotional disconnection. There's a protectiveness here. And the challenge is to not let your emotions prevent you from making good decisions and from blocking you from having connections with others that are heartfelt and open-hearted. And that could be what the shift is in this Six of Swords, where there needs to be a perspective shift, a shift in how you see things, a shift in your approach, a shift in your thinking, in order for you to move on from whatever it is you are feeling like you need to get away from. But I think before you take any action, Spirit is asking you to just take pause, to take a step back for a moment and really grieve and move through something that really cut you to the heart. This could be, so there's an energy that I'm feeling where there's maybe someone or multiple people here that have gone through a breakup recently, and they are quickly back on the dating scene, trying to make connections with people, but not quite ready to go fully deep and get fully vulnerable with somebody. So it has been all about physical intercourse, but it hasn't been fulfilling for you. It hasn't been satisfying. It may be even an emotional drain for you because there is no connection there. Now, if you're not feeling this, then this message is probably not for you. But if this is confirming for you, then this message is probably for you. So I think before you're able to find new love again in the way that you really want, you have to take a step back to process the heartbreak and the pain that you've experienced recently, possibly in the last 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, maybe even 3 to 6 days. That needs to be processed fully and completely and healed from. Maybe not 100%, but I feel that there's some things that need to be understood and integrated before you can feel emotionally ready again, because there's an emotional unreadiness here. There might be kind of a physical readiness, like, yeah, let's get out and have fun and have a good time with people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you're out there looking for the next deep relationship, but you have to heal from the previous one first. So there's a timeout that needs to be happening. And that ties back to our oracle message there. So let's see. And maybe that's what you're trying to move on from, is that previous relationship. But it's not the action that's going to get you there. It's the pausing to feel, pausing to heal that will get you there. So we have the King of Swords in the reverse. And we have the 8 of Wands in the reverse. Yes. All right. So I think your judgment is quite clouded at the moment because there's something here that you haven't quite processed or dealt with yet. And that is not allowing you to really see things with a clear mind, with really decisive energy, with understanding who the best fit for you might be. Understanding and having a higher knowledge of what's going to work and what's not, because that hasn't really been integrated yet. The physical separation has happened. Maybe even the emotional separation has happened. But the spirit is still trying to process that. Maybe even the emotions. You're still trying to move through the emotional outfall from that. So there's a big delay in getting what you want because there's something that needs to be moved through first before you can officially move on. There needs to be something that is understood, that is clarified, that is learned. And then I feel once that is complete, and I feel you will move forward with a lot of energy, with a lot of excitement. You may even meet somebody traveling, but you're still moving through some choppy waters, even though maybe the actual physical aspect of those choppy waters are no longer present. There's still some ripples that you're dealing with. So go easy on yourself. So let's get a couple cards to end your reading here. For Soul Path 3, please, Spirit, to end their reading. The Ways of Water. Wow. So you could be a water sign because there is a lot of water here in your reading. One more, please, Spirit. So this is almost like going with the flow a little bit. Ooh, forbidden fruit. So this is almost like you want what you can't have in a way. And that's why it's so enticing. I feel also you could be a very empathetic person, especially with the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and this Ways of Water coming through. And so maybe that's why there's such an emotional overwhelm, because you feel so much and feel so deeply that it makes you feel overwhelmed. If you find yourself armoring up to handle high emotions or to prevent from being too vulnerable, it might be time to let your emotions flow so that you can let them go. Emotional waters are not meant to be stagnant. Still water breeds disease and mosquitoes. So stay open to whatever emotions are coming up right now and let them flow through you with grace and without judgment. And you could work with water to work with your emotions. So you can fill a bowl with water and place it somewhere. And whenever you encounter strong emotions, instead of holding on to them, you can envision sending them into your bowl of water, or maybe actually writing something down on a piece of paper and placing it in a body of water, like a river, or maybe writing it on a leaf so it's a little more eco-friendly. And then if you are using that bowl of water and you're putting all of your emotions into this bowl of water, you offer that water to the earth or the potted plant, asking that it take your feelings to be composted to help turn it into something beautiful. And I also want you to explore what you have forbidden from doing, from feeling, from saying. There's some hidden knowing and knowledge here that I think will really help awaken something. So do you stifle your body when it wants to move in a certain way? Or do you stop yourself when you want to chant or sing? And do you listen to your intuition when it calls? So if you can tap into what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, and be self-aware about what's coming up and why. And is that your thought or emotion, or is that somebody else's thought or emotion? That might also help identify what to keep and what to let go of. And I feel this is a moment to really allow and accept your whole self in a way that maybe you've never done before. And to me, I see this snake and I just see shedding a skin. So my dear Soul Path 3, this is what I have for you. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. If you would like a personal reading, the link for that is in the description box. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 4. Welcome to your reading. If I could pick up your card. Plenty of material things with the bowl. So I feel like you're either working towards or you have a lot of abundance in your life. I feel like you could be very well off in the sense that you have a roof over your head, you've got food in your fridge, you might have some really joyful things in your home, lots of decor, maybe a car, a pet. And so I almost wonder, there's a feeling of enough here. So either Spirit is getting you to see the abundance that you have in your life currently, or maybe this is to say that you are moving towards plenty of material things. There's also a sense that you might need to not place so much value on the material things, because they can over time lose their luster and appeal. So let's take a peek at the tarot now. Spirit, we're speaking to Soul Path 4. Please offer us 2 more cards for Soul Path 4, please. Soul Path 4. Thank you. 1 more. Thank you. So we have the Star card. We have the 5 of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And we have the Devil at the bottom of the deck. I think you've had a lot of success. You might even be feeling quite hopeful in life. You are following your dreams. You might have even seen your dreams come true. You are feeling really aligned in life. There's joy, there's hope, there's wishes coming true in the Star card. But there's also grief here. There's sadness and sorrow. I also get a sense of generosity here. I feel you have a big heart, and maybe because of your abundance, you are giving to others. But there is a feeling that you've lost something along the way. And I almost wonder, with the plenty of material things and the 5 of Cups, if the material things are filling some kind of emotional void. That's for some, not all. Because I will go to the Devil card next, which is at the bottom of the deck. There's an unhealthy attachment to something, whether that is people, whether that is to material things. And I feel like there's a misplacement of values. Maybe the material things make you feel good in the moment, but that eventually wanes. And you're left with the sadness again. The challenge is to deal with the emotions that lie in the void, to face them, to allow them to come to the surface, to grieve them, to move through that energy. Because I feel you might be stuck in this energy, like you haven't processed something or really come to terms with something that you have lost. Maybe you do have abundance, which isn't a bad thing. I also get this feeling of, I have a lot of beautiful things around me, but I still feel sad. I still feel like something's missing. So it's almost like you're on a quest to find that missing piece, to find why there's an emptiness here. Because I'm getting this contrast of having a lot, having an abundance, and again, that's not a bad thing, but there's this feeling of, why do I feel so sad if I have so much? Now, there could be an attachment to somebody or something here with the Devil, and maybe a resistance to letting something go officially, which could be part of that sadness. I don't want to let this go yet, so I'm hanging on. Even though I know it might not be healthy for me, I'm hanging on. There's almost a stagnancy that's happening with this 5 of Cups and this Devil energy, where there's this little bit of unhealthy interaction or healthy attachment here. Maybe because you haven't processed something, or maybe because there's a choice to continue to participate. The Devil can speak to us making a choice to participate in something that we can choose differently about. So again, that's for some of you, not all of you. But with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I feel like the changes in your external world have really turned you a little bit upside down. And the key to not having external changes affect us so much, it's hard when we are dealing with loss. Whether it's people, whether it's things in our three-dimensional world, things shift and move. It's the nature of life. But if we are feeling really affected by it, the Wheel of Fortune is this opportunity to come back to the center, to find our center in it all, so that we are not so pushed and pulled and moved by things in our external world. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're not affected by them, but we don't feel like we're out of control. We feel like, yes, we have these feelings, but you know where your center is. You know how to ground yourself in this moment, rather than have it whip you from side to side and kind of allowing your emotions to overcome and almost stifle you. So that could be a part of that, where it's time for you to find your center again, outside of what's happening in your external world, outside of what you have in your material world. This is about coming to the center of self, of reconnecting with your spirit, maybe even reparenting that inner child. So let's get some clarifiers. I do feel like you've moved through some kind of really significant cycle. Something has come to some kind of end, maybe unexpectedly. So for Soul Path, thank you. And the Queen of Wands in reverse. And the Ace of Pentacles in the upright. So there's new opportunity here to plant new seeds, to make new choices. But there's a lack of confidence. There's maybe a lack of willpower, purpose. You don't have any passion or motivation anymore. You don't feel confident that you can turn things around or change things. And that might be true for a moment, because the major arcanas are very big universal energies. They are energies that we cannot move even with our best intentions and actions. We could do everything perfectly, and the universe, it has other plans. So this could be a moment in time where you simply have to wait it out, to move through what you need to move through, to feel what you need to feel. And maybe that's why you're in this moment, is to reconnect to self, reconnect to your passion and your purpose and your motivation again, your willpower. Because in that, there's opportunities to plant new seeds, to make new choices, to commit to things for the long term, for your gain, for your wealth, for your health, for your happiness. And we have some more grounding energy here with the Ace of Pentacles. It's that singular focus of what's going on, what do I need to do, what can I do, and what do I need to feel safe, secure, comforted at this time. And not letting go of those dreams that you once had. Don't let this moment in time shift your direction. Don't let it stop you in your tracks, because this is a temporary moment that will eventually pass. You will move through it. You will heal from it. So Soul Path 4. Cute. One more. I love that. Spirit's being very sweet right now. So appreciate the process. And a spoonful of sugar. That's very sweet. I do definitely feel like you need to have a little spoonful of sugar, a little bit of delight and joy. And that might be the key, is when we are experiencing negative emotions. The way to get back to the other side of that polarity is to focus on where we want to go, rather than where we are. And that's not to say to bypass our feelings or to shove them under the rug or to pretend that they don't exist. To process that for a time, but also turn to the good things in life when we can. And then we'll go back to grieving, moving through this sadness, moving through the process of change. But we have to be aware of how long we're there. We don't want to be there for too long, to bring ourselves back to a little bit of joy again. And there's this ebb and flow that happens with that process, which I feel why that is part of that message there, is to appreciate that process of ebb and flow, of push and pull, of sadness and happiness. And to take it really easy, to take things a little bit slow. There's a lot of change I feel that's happening in your life. So to move slowly means you can process things a little more fully. So notice, appreciate, and thank the people who support your endeavors, support your existence. If you always say the words thank you, take it just a little bit further. You could write them a letter or show them a token of gratitude. There's an ease that comes with this appreciating the process, of just allowing the things and not being tripped up by them. I mean, our brains are hardwired to see all of the problems and the issues and the things that aren't perfect, which is great for staying alive, but it makes it really difficult to cultivate happiness. And we can't wait for perfection and for outside circumstances to be happy and joyful in order to really appreciate the things that we have. All of these material things, possibly. All of the people in our life that support us. And so I feel Spirit is really getting you to appreciate some kind of process you're moving through. Be really gentle and soft with yourself. Find moments of joy and sweetness, of gratitude, of appreciation, of spending time in that, of holding space for that, while you move through all of these changes and difficulties at this time. Don't forget to look for the opportunities and bring yourself back into center, that grounding, that present moment, asking yourself what it is that you need in this moment. Do you need rest? Do you need friendship? Do you need to journal? Do you need to just indulge in a good movie? Or even a cake? But there is a process to this. So understand that this won't be forever. The wheel promises that things will change. It is nature's way. So this too shall pass. And this is what I have for you, Soul Path 4. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. If you would like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description box. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading.